on, babies.
Yes, Raymond, let's start the show. If anyone's interested in our Christmas extravaganzas and what I think of shirts and sizes.
What a fucking cunt. Did you read that?
Check out our cold open. Our the queen just texted us. Hold on, I got the perfect response. I'll go.
I bet you it's 4 letters.
Yeah.
Oh, even worse than what I was thinking.
Okay. Queen will not be joining us tonight. Welcome, Raymond. Welcome back. We took a couple days off there for the holiday break. Bill is on continuous break. Yet to be determined when he will be back, and that's fine. These go well. We have our good time. We get to reconnect.
No beeps, no editing, no nothing. We just get the release right away.
Raymond gets to speak, so every once in a while, you know, people listening, you get to hear Ray's
This is
takes.
my voice, guys. This is Ray. My voice. Here it is.
It sounds 10 pounds less fat, supposedly.
Yep.
Again, listen to the cold open after show if you want to hear more about that. Other than that, Ray, let's get the show started with some opening takes. This is a sports show. It's the Simple Mind Sports Show. We do New England sports here. So I'll throw it over to you. Why don't you give us your opening take after a week-long hiatus since we've seen you? We've had a lot go down over the weekend. In the week, go ahead.
Thank you. And I know we're not really covering it much on the show today, but Brad Marchand came out recently and started talking about how he's very upset.
Hold on. Am I frozen?
You were for 2 seconds. Now you're fine.
I'm frozen on this end. So hold on. I don't know what the fuck. All right. Start over. Go ahead, Raymond.
Oh, thank you.
I guess there will be editing because apparently my goddamn internet fucking is shit since I left. So, but all right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Is it because of Welch's photo he sent you yesterday with the watch and the arm?
I can't discuss it.
Anyways, Brad Marchand was on Twitter recently, and he was saying how disgusted he was with the NHL for not allowing him to go to the Olympics this year, to go to China. He really wanted to go. He thinks it's bullshit that the NHL is holding them back. I'm totally on Brad's side. I mean, if you want to go represent your country and play for Team Canada, have at it. I don't think the NHL should be dictating whether these players should go or not go. They had the time already taken off for this. They were planning on these players going. So why not let the players decide their fate? If they want to go get COVID over there, stay there for 5 extra weeks, whatever, that's on them. But yeah, I'm on Brad's side on this. Let the players play if they want to go to the Olympics and represent.
I haven't put a ton of thought into this, but my first initial thought is I'm not with Brad Marchand because the NHL has a business to run. And if their entire league goes to China, gets COVID and stuck there for 5 weeks, they're kind of fucked.
But they're bringing up a taxi squad anyway. So what's the difference?
No, there's a difference. You know, there's a difference. The NHL, I don't know if they've ever done this before, tell their players that what they can do and what they can't do. But you know, on this scale, in terms of the Olympics, I don't even know how they have the power to do it. I guess it's in the CBA.
Something about like if there was a pandemic, they couldn't go or something.
It's written in the CBA of the NHL.
Well,
there's a pandemic.
They signed the CBA during last year. Remember?
Oh, that's true. All right. God damn it. Fuck you, Ray. Way to ruin a joke.
Sorry. Well, you were trying to make me sound dumb. So I had to come back with you, fatty. Don't worry.
I don't have to try that hard. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, Brad Marchand. He only cares because the Bruins suck. So go win a gold with Team Canada because you ain't going nowhere with the Bruins. That's for sure.
He's like a Carmelo Anthony. He wants to win gold because he can't win a championship anytime soon.
How dare you? How dare you?
Sorry.
Brad Marchand is a Stanley Cup winner. Carmelo Anthony is a 3-time gold medalist. Marchand will never reach the heights of one Carmelo Anthony.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to put them in the same class. My fault.
Speaking of going nowhere, I'll shoot the elephant in the room. The Patriots blew it over the weekend against the Bills in a terrible game. Ray was there with 3 generations of cunts. I'm sorry, Langevins. And I just, you know, tough game. Tough way to go about that. You know, you have the AFC East on the line. Of course, most of the show will be about that game and about the Patriots and what they are moving forward. But yeah, just a puke in your mouth performance to watch. That's all I have to say about that in the opening take. It was frustrating. It was annoying. It was aggravating to see a team that we had medium hopes for going in. They raised our hopes. We jumped on the back of those hopes, and then they have shat them down the toilet in the last 2 weeks after a bye week. It's not good, Raymond. Not good.
Nope. We had high hopes. It's kind of like when you're in high school and you thought you're going to fuck the pretty girl, and then you go to prom and then she fucks the jock, and you just go downhill from there and become goth. Something like that. It's a good analogy, I think.
Yeah, that works.
Thanks.
Bill, your opening take?
It's vacation. Shut up, bitch. Leave me alone.
I like pee-pee. All right, well, that's the show. We'll be doing a lot of Patriots talk. That's going to be the most of the show. I had to cut my rant down because I didn't want to do it twice for the show. But right after the opening here, we'll get right into the Patriots and Bills. We have headlines with the obvious one, of course, and we'll do a little Celtics talk because they're doing great too. So yeah, a real uplifting show. Uplifting show as we move into 2022. Maybe that's when things will really turn around. We just got to wait for the new year.
Didn't we say that last year?
Welcome to the Simple Minds Sports Show, December 31st.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. It's New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's New Year's Eve because there's an apostrophe, grammar guru. It's the New Year's Eve. Like this, the Eve is the night before, and it belongs to the New Year. So
I don't need to take a breath, so why would I put a comma?
It's not a comma, it's apostrophe.
Oh, apostrophe. Oh, yeah, apostrophe. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Spell apostrophe. Never mind. It's New Year. Happy New Year.
If you put my life on the line and said spell apostrophe, I would literally just be like, kill me now.
Yeah, I can't.
No fucking way I'd even get close to apostrophe.
Apostrophe. A.
Is it an A? I'm not even joking.
Speaking of killing yourself, White Birch Brewing is the best craft brewing in New Hampshire, National New Hampshire. Ray, address please.
460 Amherst Street.
Get on down there, the good side of Amherst Street. Check out their flights. Check out their pints. The best time for drinking is in the winter. I have just come back from an extended stay in New England. Back here in Maryland, it is 60 degrees. There is no snow. Let me tell you something. I know why people drink. I know why I have a habit for my 30 years in New England. It sucks up there right now. So get on the White Birch, cheer yourself up with a couple of brewskis. If you can't get them there, then get it at your local beer store. Wherever you get it, tell them the Simple Minds boys sent you. White Birch Brewing. Patriots blow at Raymond 33-21 in a shitstorm of a shit game. Main takeaways, I kind of gave you mine. If you want to piggyback off them, go for it. If not, if you have anything else you want to lead off with, I'll give it over to you, and then I'll take my turn.
What you have there is pretty much sums it all up, except I want to go into a little bit more depth. Defense,
let me go first. Let me go first, and you can go into depth, because my takeaways was for the second game in a row that you came out and you got pushed around. You looked flat. You started flat. You looked slow. It looked like you didn't want to be there. The first down by the Bills, Devin Singletary, the smallest guy on the field, drags Kyle Duggar 10 yards. Like, that can't happen. And it happened all fucking day. Never mind to start. But for the second straight week, it looked like the other team was more intense, more physical, ready to play. And you weren't. And that's a problem. You would think coming off that Colts game, fine, you give them a little bit of an excuse. They're riding a little high off their 7-game win streak. They had a bye week. You go into that Colts game in Indianapolis, and you get run over a little bit because you took your foot off the gas. No excuse in this one. I mean, everything, literally everything is on the line, and you come out that way and you really can't recover. It's disgusting. Why? It's so fucking frustrating to watch. And mainly I blame the defense. 33 points you gave up. You could not get a stop when you needed it. You were letting Josh Allen run all over you. You were letting him connect easy crossing routes all fucking day. Third downs were a problem. Fourth downs were a problem. The defense, this team was built to win first with defense, and they completely fell on their face in this Bills game. And then lastly, the Mac Jones passing offense cannot win a shootout. It's now confirmed. However, I don't put this game on them, and I don't think that they can't necessarily come back, because I think that they showed their ability to come back in both the Colts and Bills game. There's just a limit to it. And again, it all starts with the defense. But confirmed, Mac Jones not gonna. He's as a rookie, not gonna get in the shootout and win. That's for sure.
No, absolutely not. And my thing is that I'm piggybacking off the defensive take. In years past, the secondary used to be the strongest part of our defense. No more. If the front seven can't get to the quarterback and rush the quarterback to make fast throws, the secondary can't lock down any corners. J.C. Jackson got owned against Stephon Diggs on Sunday. Miles Bryant, oh my God, he is probably the worst cornerback I've ever seen live in a football stadium, because that guy got owned from their third or fourth wide receiver on the field. It was just the worst thing you could possibly see. They can't stop anyone. Fourth downs, they were converting left and right. It was just the worst performance from a Bill Belichick-led defense that I've seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah, Brian Daboll had an answer for everything. They knew what they wanted to do. And it felt like the Patriots were constantly on their heels all day long. The Bills were step ahead, and they were, and this has worked in the past, but they were letting or trying to let Josh Allen fuck up. So they were driving back in coverage, giving him the short stuff, and hoping that he would make a mistake along the way. By the way, he made those mistakes. You just didn't capital on him, J.C. Jackson. So, and he airmailed more than a handful of balls in that game. This is why Josh Allen I just can't trust him. And this is why I put so much emphasis on the defense losing that game for you. Because as good as Josh Allen played, he should have played better, and he should have had 2 interceptions, at least to J.C. Jackson, if not more. And the Patriots just couldn't take advantage of it. How many 3rd and 10s? I think there was 4 3rd and 10s that the Bills connected on. Never mind the 4th downs where you knew Josh Allen was going to sneak it and you couldn't stop him. Never mind the red zone, which was just pathetic defense. That last touchdown by Diggs. I mean, I don't know if J.C. Jackson thought he had help. I don't know if Kyle Van Noy was the linebacker there. McCourty was showing blitz. I don't know if he couldn't get back in time. Either way, I mean, J.C. Jackson got burnt by 2 fucking yards on a cheap little skinny post that burnt them all throughout that game. Their defense just looked like shit. I couldn't tell whether they were playing zone or man most of the time, but when they went to man, you could tell Miles Bryant had no business being on that fucking field. Whatever his name is there for the Bills, Isaac. Isaiah? Who the hell was it? Number 19?
Keep going.
God damn it. Sorry, I should have had that. It's in my head, and I can't fucking come up with it. Miles Bryant just didn't belong on the field in man-to-man coverage, and a lot of these guys do. Jalen Mills certainly doesn't, even though he didn't burn you too bad in that game. But I think it's definitively confirmed J.C. Jackson not a number 1 quarterback in this league. He was talking about being on an island earlier this season. No way, buddy. No way. No. You're a great cornerback in a right scheme, and that scheme is zone. And if you were lined up against the number 1 wide receiver on an island, you suck. You get burnt. You're not that guy.
You're not gonna. And that's like a money bag game for him. It's Isaiah McKenzie, the guy that lit up
I knew there was that.
Miles. Yeah, but he was demanding big money. This is a contract year for him. He's gonna be a free agent at the end of the year. And if you can't go 1-on-1 against a division rival, number 1 Stephon Diggs, you are getting that fucking paycheck like you think you're going to get. Bill Belichick's going to say, see ya, I'll take my chances on someone else. I can make some other undrafted rookie what you were or what you are or what you think you are, and see you later. Have fun walking and going to the Jags and getting a big contract and getting eaten up alive down there.
Yeah, or go pull a Stephon Diggs and pay the actual best guy. Stephon Gilmore, sorry. And I don't know what the free agent class looks like in cornerbacks and who is even out there or what the trade is, but I'm just saying J.C. Jackson's not that guy. And I think we've seen it from Belichick throughout the season, throughout the last few seasons. He's slow to bring those type of compliments to J.C. Jackson. And we've seen him do it before. We've seen him say it about Gilmore. We've seen him say it about Darrelle Revis. Certainly Ty Law after they had their little spat. About a decade later, he said Ty Law was as good as he was. He's been kind of putting J.C. Jackson down for at least this season, the little comments are coming out. So that was evident. Stephon Diggs is J.C. Jackson's daddy. That's for sure. What do you put the defense on? Talent or coaching? Do you think the coaching fucked them up? I'll give you an example. Why didn't they blitz more? Why didn't they blitz Josh Allen more?
I think they were just playing back in coverage. I think they were just rushing 3 or 4 and just hoping that would be enough to make him make these mental mistakes, but no one was capitalizing. I think it was a talent. It wasn't the coaching. I think it was a talent.
I would have liked to see him blitz. I think Josh Allen's biggest hurdle when it comes to being on the field is his mental lapses and making stupid plays, and those generally happen under pressure. Now, he made some really good plays, on the run, which is his MO. But that specifically, he had one, I think it was 3rd and 10 or 3rd and long, that he was running right and threw, cardinal sin for a quarterback, threw across his body in the middle of the field. Guy caught it, and it was a first down. But you make him make 2 more, 3 more of those types of throws, it's getting picked. It's getting picked. And that your rush wasn't getting there. You were losing. Your coverage clearly was not, what it's been most of the season. I was a little bit disappointed. No, I was very disappointed to see them really not make any adjustments throughout the game. I mean, I listened to Bedard kind of talk about it and break down some of the game film. And he said that they switched up their front 4 in the rushes that, they'd bring a linebacker and drop a DN back or, pull some stunts and shit. But they were bringing 4 guys the whole night, and they never fucking got there against a shitty offensive line. So it was disappointing to me to see them not bring more pressure from a blitz, because you're getting fucking burnt in the secondary anyway. Like, what the fuck?
But would you get
sort of the wrong guy that you saw Josh Allen sit, and then when a guy was open, threw him the ball. If you pressure him, maybe he throws to the wrong guy and you get a turnover. That's the whole idea.
When he was sitting, he wasn't making as much mental mistakes. When I was watching him, he was checking down a lot. It was more of these little my last receiver or running back he was dumping it off to, and they were getting the 5-6 yards every time. It was like a running play. And that's what it seemed like. So because everyone was dropping back in coverage and they're only rushing 3 or 4, like you're saying. So yeah, maybe if he did blitz more, he would have to go to his first read or second read and make that stupid mistake. So yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying.
And that's the MO with quarterbacks like Josh Allen is you got a first read, second, third read, and you give him time. In the past, you gave Josh Allen time, and he still tried to force it into that first or second read. But clearly, he's evolved. Clearly, he's gotten better. Good for him. Bad for the Patriots. Fucking look at it and figure it out. Blitz him. Make him make a decision earlier than letting him slowly progress that dumb face through the reads. And 5 seconds later, dump it off to Isaiah McKenzie, who starts on this side of the field, runs the whole fucking field and catches it on the sideline of the other side. How many times did that happen to poor Miles Bryant? Who
don't say poor Miles. Fuck that guy.
No one should be. No one is able to cover that. No, like Isaiah McKenzie burnt them on, I think, 3 specifically that I can remember. Those crossing routes, some deeper than others, and Miles Bryant just had to chase him across the field. He's just slower.
I had asked the guy behind me. He was a Bills fan. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? He's like, I don't know. He's like our 4th wide receiver. Like, he's fucking eating us alive.
Which tells you clearly that, the Patriots game plan to bottle up their first and second guys worked for the most part until you put J.C. Jackson one-on-one with Stephon Diggs. And then,
didn't Emmanuel Sanders have like one leg pretty much that whole game?
Yeah, he got hurt. He got hurt pretty early on. And he's been just kind of absent in that offense for a while now.
Shell of himself, yeah. Since
like the first quarter of the season. So, yeah, Dawson Knox didn't fucking really show up. He had a couple red zone targets. Isaiah McKenzie fucking burnt you. He burnt you with their 3rd guy, and you didn't adjust. It was
him and J.C. Jackson's papa.
And Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary was running all over you. Oh, it was gross. We're going through the things that I didn't like in this game. Next on my list, where is Matthew Judon?
Great question. I think he got hurt. Now, was it the last Bills game? Not this past one, but the one before. I remember he came up hurt on one of the plays. He was sitting on the field. I don't think he's right. Obviously, he's not 100%. Obviously, this late in the season, no one's really 100%, but I think something's really wrong. I don't know if it's a upper body thing, so he's not getting the upper body strength that he needs to get around these defensive players, offensive line players, rather. But yeah, I think something happened in that previous Bills game, and that's what is happening right now, and that's why he's not that edge rusher, getting to the quarterback like he was in weeks past.
Well, that sucks because they kind of need him. That was the formula. Barmore, getting the pressure there. And if he's not performing in that pass rushing role, then find somebody you can, because you can't just keep throwing him out there if you know that he's hurt, and find something else that he can do. You can put him in a different position. I put a lot of that defensive game on coaching. You have to. You can't give them all the praise, and then when they suck, just blame the players.
Blame not to you. So
it just seemed like they were on their heels all game long and did nothing about it.
There's one. I was reading your email. There is one player that we can put all the blame on.
Ooh,
may I?
Oh, you want to move next here? You want
to this one? Yeah, because we really talked about the other two.
We're going to switch sides of the ball.
We really talked about the last two things. There are three things. So next is the primary thing that I don't know why this human being even owns a Patriots jersey anymore.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
N'Keal fucking Harry. What the fuck, man? You were the biggest first round bust ever. You don't even know how to run a fucking route properly. You could see it clear as day on that one Mac Jones bomb that he had to the end zone. He did not read the right. He did not run the right route. He went left. He should have stayed straight or went a little right. Mac put that ball perfect for him to catch it, and he went the wrong way. And then he fucking runs this little slant. He puts his hands up, tips it. He doesn't even try to go back after that interception. He's just, why is this guy on the field? Why is this guy on the team? Why is he a Patriot? You should have just fucking released him. Don't even worry about trading him. When he said, hey, I want to be traded, just release him. He's worthless. He is not worth anything. He doesn't deserve to be on that field. He sucks. Biggest bust of Bill Belichick's career.
I don't know if you know off the top of your head, how many touchdowns has OBJ had since he went to the Rams?
Oh, to the Rams, I think one.
More than two.
Okay.
I was just in the camp that I would have taken Odell Beckham Jr. because I thought
DK Metcalf. Never heard of him.
Well, that's the draft class. You want to go Debo? I mean, Debo Samuel is, literally Bo Jackson out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just talking about when Odell Beckham Jr. requested a trade.
Wanted him here. Yeah.
I wanted him because I didn't think that they had enough playmakers. And when you got into a game where you needed playmakers, you didn't have them. And now you're relying on fucking N'Keal Harry because Kendrick Bourne had COVID. Clearly, he didn't practice all week. Clearly, he only got 2 attempts thrown to him. He's been your best wide receiver all season. Jacoby Myers, we know, is limited. He's an undrafted guy that, we love him. He's the number 1 pass catcher on this team over the last 2 years, but he's a number 3 at best. He's a number 3, and he needs to be in the right position to succeed. Nelson Aguilar is, Nelson Aguilar. He's not the guy. So you're relying on guys like N'Keal Harry, who, he's a number 1 draft pick, a first-round draft pick, and that drop that he had literally looked like Ricky Bobby when he didn't know what to do with his fucking hands. Like, he just tried to catch it with the outsides of his hands.
They call it frying pan hands. Yeah. And when he did make a catch, and the whole stadium erupted and cheered for him for like a 6-yard catch, it's like, how embarrassing is that for you to go back on the sidelines and hearing everyone clap for you because you actually made a fucking catch? You're a wide receiver.
TV copy had him pumped. He was jacked.
Oh man, it's so fucking embarrassing. It's like,
these fucking guys love me.
Yeah, no, we're just making fun of you because you can't make a fucking catch ever in your life.
Don't even know what you look like because you wear that visor and the face mask and the helmet. Don't even know what you look like. Don't care.
Yeah. Oh, I do, because if I ever saw him, nut shot and run.
Speaking of nut shots, the tight ends on this team, specifically Hunter Henry, it's really pissing me off. The passing game clearly is, not where it needs to be. It's just mediocre at best. And you paid however much millions of dollars for Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. And Hunter Henry is leading the league in touchdowns by tight ends, I think. But that's basically the only fucking ball he catches. It's basically the only time he's in the offense. Is he just incapable of getting open? This is the other thing. How do you get all 22? I want to see what routes Hunter Henry runs that Josh McDaniels has these guys running. Where is the option routes, the 6-7 yard option routes that this offense was so potent with for years and years and years? And maybe that's just Brady. Maybe that's the Brady, Gronk, Edelman, Walker connection that we're missing here. But Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, you're big. Can't you just run 6 yards, fake right, go left, and catch the fucking ball?
You'd think so. I mean, what happened with Gronk in years past? Big, goofy guy, can't really run a a fast route, but he was just big and you could just, catch the ball. Like Josh McDaniels has it in his system to run these plays. Why isn't Mac Jones finding his next door neighbor on the fucking in between the 20s? Why is it the red zone the only time this guy makes a play?
Yeah, I have to imagine.
He might be San Diego soft.
Well, I think there's a little bit of that in them, but I am starting to lean that Mac Jones is just limited as a rookie. He's got his rookie limitations, and because evidence tells us that Josh McDaniels is a good enough offensive coach to implement those things. There isn't enough evidence to tell us that Mac Jones is good enough to recognize it and perform it, right? So,
yeah,
just on those things, I lean towards they've tried it. Mac Jones hasn't figured it out. It's like it's not that fucking hard. You just have to be on the same page.
Yeah.
You line up your coverage. You see the defender on Julian Edelman. Edelman runs a route. He decides within that first step, does he have inside leverage or outside leverage? If it's inside, I go outside. If it's outside, I go inside. Brady sees the same thing. They throw it ball and catch it. I think I could figure that out on a fucking playground with your fat ass and my fat ass against guys. Hey, if this guy shades you inside, just go outside and I'll throw you the ball.
Can I ask you a question?
I don't know if that's that hard. I'm not an NFL coach, but it seems like that has completely gone away from this offense over the past 2 years.
Now, if Bill was lining up on as wide receiver, does his dink toes make it a more
now this is difficult? Yeah.
Now you would know if it's inside or outside because that dink toed, you don't know which way he's going to go. He might be going inside, but his dink toed is saying, I'm going outside.
I'm going outside. So that's confusing. And in that situation, I would normally look up, bypass the dick, look at the hips, see which way the hips are swimming. However, he's got that old man like frog look where he has no fucking ass and his hips are like shrunken in. So you don't know where that's going either. So yeah, it's a very deceiving type of defense out of the dink-toed frog hips.
Do you think if he wasn't in World War II that he would be probably one of the most elite wide receivers in his day?
I think that Bill has cocks for hands, so I think that he's more of a defensive side of the ball kind of guy. But in terms of like coverage,
when you say cocks for hands, what do you mean by that?
He likes to suck in his fingers. I just think that he's more of a defensive side of the ball, but it works the same way. You have to, you look at the toes and the hips and see which way they're, which way is the coverage leaning. Old Billy Dinktoes in his day in the 40s, before things got big, they were
leather
confused.
helmets.
Yeah, leather helmets. He never wore a helmet because
that's why he wears a leather helmet. That's why he doesn't wear condoms, because the leather helmets back in the day he used to get a rash.
Yeah. Lanolin. He tried to use lanolin. Speaking of Mac Jones, certainly some pretty bad stretches in this game. He looked lost. He's looked lost. Honestly, he's looked lost since Cleveland, even through the wins. And again, I go to coaching here. Have they stifled him too much? Have they been winning these games? I guess I'll use the word easily by running the ball and defense and not pushed him enough, because when forced into the situation, or again, this is more of a Greg Bedard thing in the Sports Journal, where the fuck it was. His receivers just can't get open. Like just literally no one's open down the field.
Or is it also that he doesn't know how to play from behind? Obviously, these big wins that we've had, we've been up the whole time. He hasn't had to play from behind. He's had the lead going and scoring on the first drive. Other than that, you're tied. Other than that, you're not playing catch-up ball. You're just maintaining the game. Run. All right, third and a little bit long, throw it. It doesn't have to be Mac leading this team. It was been Damian Harris or Ramadama Ding Dong Stevenson leading the game because of the rushing attempts and all that stuff. So maybe that's the whole problem as well. Mac hasn't really shown that he can go out there and bring this team down the field and score a touchdown when it needs it most.
Yes, he hasn't shown that, but I don't think that has to do with coming from behind. I just think that has to do with lack of explosive plays in the passing offense, because the difference I think is made when you talk about, can a player come from behind? That's more of a mental kind of gamesmanship thing. I think Mac has that. I think Mac has that in spades. I think he's lacking physically, and his offense is lacking with the IQ and ability to execute. That's where I think that they lack. So when talking about coming from behind, I don't know. I don't know if he would play it any differently. Like if they came out and made him pass in the first half as much as they've made him pass in the last 2 games in the second half, I don't know if he would look much different. Maybe the rest of the team would, if they're not pressing or whatever else, or the defense is being played differently. So, a lot of things go into into effect when you talk about teams coming from behind. That's how the Patriots have been so good for so long. They made teams come from behind. They made them get out of their game plan. I don't know if that's specifically Mac Jones, but 14 for 32, 145 yards and 2 interceptions. It's not great.
Yuck.
Not great. It is one of the best defenses in the league. All season, they have been one of the best defenses in the league. The stretches that are coming back to me in my head, that first end of the first half wasn't good. I think it's the first drive in the fourth quarter was pretty bad. First series was bad. That's what I mean. The first series, yeah. And then the last series that they had the ball down a possession was terrible too. I think they went 3-0 and just bad throws, kind of off his back foot and not accurate. So
the first interception, there's 3 guys around N'Keal Harry when he made that throw. They got tipped and interception.
Yeah, that was a bad throw. That was certainly pressing.
Bad read, everything.
That was certainly pressing a little bit. So yeah, I think it's a combination of things. He's a rookie. I don't think that he has the best playmakers around him, and they're put in a position that they haven't been into, that they haven't been in for most of the season. And to your point of coming back. So it's hard to put it all on Mac Jones as a rookie, but
you said coming back a lot. You said come from behind a lot on that last one. And I was trying to be a mature man, a mature 36-year-old, being like, but I was giggling in my head the whole time.
Speaking of coming from behind, let's talk about things that you like.
Touche.
You like that one? Damian Harris is still running strong off the hamstring, had a good game, a couple touchdowns. The O-line was decent enough, I guess. I think that right side was pretty strong.
Isaiah Winside, not so much.
Not so much. David Andrews got blown up a couple times. We can't go to things that we like, and that's basically it. I wanted to finish up with this last point of things I didn't like. And this goes back in a little bit of the offensive line talk. To end the first half, those personal fouls that got called, didn't get called, then get called, was fucking ridiculous. And the refs gave another taunting late in the game against the Patriots.
Against David Andrews, yeah.
Against David Andrews for sticking up for his quarterback. What the fuck is going on? Like, just get the fuck out of the game, refs. At the end of the first half, that cost you 30 yards. And if anyone listening is not familiar with it, Mac Jones scrambled, was out of bounds. The defender pushed him and then grabbed onto his shoulder pads and dragged him down. It's a horse collar. It fucked his knee up. If you look at the replay, he had to take his brace off. Knee brace up, yeah. It's the exact reason why that rule is in place. And you did it to a quarterback out of bounds. How you picked that flag up, I have no idea how that's the case, but they finally do after like 5 fucking full minutes of deliberating on television, making everybody wait. And then they go to snap the ball and Trent Brown says something to the Bills
your mother's
team.
Ass. That's what he said.
Probably. And the refs fucking teed him up basically like an NBA player. They didn't like his potty mouth. So they teed him up and dropped him back 15 more yards. It was a goddamn 30-yard fucking swing for the Patriots at the end of the half that was already in basically Nick Folk field goal range. What had a chance to don't you doubt Nick Folk is 3 for 3 on extra points. God damn it. But bigger point was they had close to a minute at that time. They would have got a field goal at least, I think, would have made it a one-possession game on in the second half, would have changed the momentum of the whole thing. Whether the Patriots defense would have responded or not, probably not in that game. But either way, I just thought it was such a classic case of the refs getting involved when they didn't need to and completely changed the game.
There was a father and daughter, I think, behind me. They were Bills fans. The things that girl learned out of my mouth after that series of plays, I don't think he was very happy with me. I wasn't very happy with the refs. So, yeah, I totally agree with you. The refs got way too involved in that. There was too many taunting calls, not enough. How would you pick up a flag when your quarterback is out of bounds? They're showing the replay right there. You could tell that he was on the white and then he gets dragged down like a second afterwards. That is a personal foul. That's a late hit. That's a horse collar, whatever you want to call it. The refs got way too involved in this game, and it was bad. It was bad officiating throughout. I know Greg Bedard was very adamant, being like very disgusted about talking about the refs. No, it didn't cost us the game, but you can admit that that was really bad officiating that you've seen in such a big game. As for the AFC East, that was for first place in the AFC East. These refs shouldn't be determining the outcome like they were.
There were taunting calls and personal foul calls. It wasn't even defensive pass interference or holdings, right?
It's a rivalry game. It's like there's going to be shit talking, of course.
It's not the first 4 weeks of the season where you're trying to implement this idea that taunting you need to get this out of the league.
Yeah.
It's the fucking third to last week of the season in a game that's deciding a division, and you're going to bring up taunting rules? You fucking kidding me? Yeah. Pretty bad, and it only went one way, which was a little bit deceiving.
Especially when Stephon Diggs is telling the crowd, "Fuck you!" Like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. That gets nothing, but you're sticking up for your quarterback, and that's 15 yards. That's bullshit.
I got to know what Trent Brent said. Your mother's ass.
Your fucking mother's ass, motherfucker.
Where do they go from here, Raymond? What kind of team is this? Are they good enough to beat these AFC opponents and the Colts and Bills and Titans if they see them again? They're only currently one game up on Miami, who have been running repshot over the shit teams of the league. We see them in 2 weeks to end the season. You get the Jags up next and get their swagger back. What do you think they look like to end the season here?
Well, I'm going to say something as the homer of this panel, and it's going to be a very unpopular opinion I have. They're not making the playoffs.
Ooh.
I don't think this team's making the playoffs. I think they are on the downward trajectory right now, and the Dolphins game is going to be for the last wild card spot, and they're going to get their asses handed to them in Miami like usual. So I think the Miami Dolphins are going upwards. The Patriots are going downwards, and I think that Week 18 matchup, it's going to be a reality check, and Mac Jones will be missing the playoffs this year.
Ooh. Hard to disagree with you as the guy that's been saying that Miami game is the one to watch out for all season.
I know you don't like to toot your own horn, so that's why you don't really bring it up much.
Fair enough. Who does Miami play this week?
Tennessee.
They're gonna lose that. It's very
early lines for all of our decisions on that game, as you'll hear.
As much as I've said Miami has been a tough game coming up for the Patriots in Miami, I've also said Miami is a joke franchise, and I do not believe in them one bit. And them losing in Tennessee with their to your point, with their destiny in their hands, they win against Tennessee and they beat New England. Basically, let's say they're in the playoffs. They'll lose. They'll lose to Tennessee. They will absolutely lose to Tennessee. Watch this. And the Patriots will beat the Jaguars probably handily. And then you go into Miami and it'll be a little bit close, but the Patriots will handle. I think the Patriots will handle the game. It'll be a controlled game by the Patriots. I just gotta see that happening because I don't believe in the Dolphins. What happens in the playoffs? I don't know. Again, this Patriots team, their defense needs to figure it the fuck out. I don't think they were bad against the Colts. I actually think they're pretty goddamn good against the Colts. They sucked against the Bills, so that's still. That game against the Bills is still an abnormal game.
Sure.
It is not the norm for this team. This defense is.
Why would you say that in the first place?
I don't know. This defense has been good for most of the season, for a majority of the season. I expect them to be good down the stretch. I expected them to be pretty good in the playoffs. I think it's matchup dependent. If you see the Titans again, I like you against the Titans because I don't trust that quarterback. I think if
Derrick
you run
Henry
up against...
Wait. What if Derrick Henry's back?
I still like you because I think you lose
even after you see Devin Singletary running up all around this defensive line.
Devin Singletary didn't beat you. Josh Allen beat you. You lose in a shootout. If you want to play, if an opponent wants to play a running first and a drag out game, you have a shot. You have a puncher's chance in any of those games. I think you should be worried about I hate you're gonna hate myself for saying this. Cincinnati, who you are currently able to play. I think you should worry about Kansas City and the Bills. Those guys can put up points through the air.
Hold on, you froze. Hold on, you froze. Can you say that again? Who are the teams you're worried about?
I didn't fucking freeze. Fuck you. I just think so. And Miami's not one of those teams either. My Tua Tagovailoa, they're a possession type of game. So I'm gonna give the Patriots the edge in that. So that.
But they got to get there first. They got to get there. I don't think they're gonna get there.
Well, that's why they play the game. And I don't want to do predictions anymore. It's good. The salt in the wound skin, even though we basically just did. I don't want to put any numbers on this. Just fucking win. Just fucking win.
Just win, baby. Just win.
Extend the season for us, please. At least a week. You fucking jerk offs. That's Patriots talk. After a disappointing Bills loss.
Anger talk. Patriots angry talk.
Yeah, that was Patriots angry talk. Especially for that poor girl sitting behind the 3 generation of cunts.
She learned the word cunt during that game.
Not her. She wasn't directed at her.
No, not her. No. It was towards Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Isaiah McKenzie. Those were
dudes, all legal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say in the UK and Australia. It's big over there too.
And at Bill's house.
Well, anything goes at Bill's house. Fuck.
You're fine. You came back.
Okay. Anything goes at Bill's house. Well, before we move on, let's go and throw it over to headlines with the obvious one.
Well, thank you, Richard. The sky is falling in New England. Patriots lose the AFC division with an emasculating loss to the Bills on Sunday, 33-21. Why would you put big words in this? Because you know I'm stupid and I can't read those. They currently sit in the 6th place in the AFC, which would match them up against my Cincinnati Bengals and the best quarterback in the NFL, Joe Burrow, in the first round of the playoffs. I would suck the balls of one Joe Burrow. The Celtics are losers of 3 straight and 4 of their last 5. 3 of those losses, the 76ers, the Bucks, and Clippers. The Celtics blew double-digit leads. Jason Tatum has been in COVID protocol and out of the lineup, missing the last 2 games. It doesn't matter. I am brewing a batch of cookies and ookie right now for Richard to eat at season's end. The NHL cut its COVID shutdown short, allowing games to restart over the weekend. The Bruins are back on the schedule versus the Sabres New Year's Day to help drown away your hangovers. Baseball and the MLB are still shut down and still dead to me. Hashtag dead to me. The latest in the wrestling news, which I want Richard to elaborate on, Black Twitter blew up about something fake and no one gives a shit. This has been Headlines with the obvious one. Back to you, Richard.
Hold on. I have to find it now. Somebody... It's going to take too long to find this.
All I did is search Black Twitter and wrestling, and the stuff that came up. No bueno.
It was on the Instagram. Something about, shit. I should have sent it to you.
What, the girl that quit?
I don't know.
Well, the only thing I know about wrestling that happened recently was Toni Storm got released, but then found out she's burnt out and quit. That's the only thing I know.
I literally don't know anything. I just put it in there thinking that you'd have a real hot take in a discussion lined up for this.
That's the only thing I know is Toni Storm, female wrestler, was in the main event picture. She basically got released and everyone was up in arms being pissed off, but then come to find out she's burnt out from the schedule because she's originally from either Australia or the UK, and she asked for her release because she's burnt out. She doesn't want to do it anymore.
Okay. I'll find this after. Catch up with us over the weekend on early lines. I'll have this. The early lines cold open. I'll figure this out. I'll find it.
Thank you. That's all I asked for.
It's somewhere. It's somewhere in there. I don't know what it is. Well done with emasculating. Did you get into that word and there's context clue it to realize what the word was?
Oh, I sounded it out.
Ebonics. Also, speaking of Ebonics, that God fucking damn it.
You're fine. You're back. You're good.
Speaking of Ebonics, that little that Celtics paragraph.
Yeah, ookie cookie. Jesus Christ.
You read that terribly.
You wrote it terribly.
No, you grammar guru'd every fucking comma. You stopped to breathe. Three of those losses, the 76ers, Bucks, and Clippers, the Celtics blew double digits leads. Jason Tatum has been in COVID protocol and out of the lineup, missing 2 games. It doesn't matter.
Listen.
You stopped at every word.
Listen. You put a comma there, I take a breath. I read what you write. That's all it is.
I get it. Grammar guru.
So it's more on you, not me.
No, I agree. The Celtics suck. I wrote discuss. I don't like being wrong. I had this conversation with a listener of ours. He's a cousin of mine, Shark and/or Minnow. Patrick, if you're listening, said Ray's. What did he say? Something about I don't know if it was early lines.
Genius? Does he say genius?
Yeah, it was along those lines. Ray's really doing well in early lines, right? And I said, yeah, he's been right way too fucking often this year about stuff, and it's really starting to drive me insane. It's just tale of the times. It's like this is what's going on.
Sky's falling, baby. Sky's falling.
Everything is going wrong, especially for the Celtics. 4 for 42 from 3 in their loss to Minnesota, which they scored 82 points, I think.
That has to be a record. That has to be a record. I didn't look it up, but that has to be a fucking record somewhere.
You were on the fire Brad trade last year. I have been hopelessly optimistic for this team, telling you that it's just because the Jays are young. If you look at the teams in history, it's their 6th, 7th year when guys break through with good teams. Steph Curry, Giannis, even LeBron, even though he cheated to do it.
Jordan,
KD cheated to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. Fire everyone. They don't get it. System doesn't work. It's fucking stupid. The idea that you shoot 42 3-pointers, you've made 4, is fucking
bad. That's bad. That's like
if I had 2 more beers in me, that would be a hard beep. Hard beep. And I get we were conflicted when they fired Brad and they sent him up to the front office because they owed him $36 million. That's why he's the president of operation, not because he was the guy for the job. Remember that. I'm going full fucking tilt on this Celtics team now. Fuck them. They're dead to me. They're fucking dead to me. They've screwed this whole goddamn thing up. I'm off it. I'm off all of it. Ime Udoka is the wrong guy for this fucking team. He's a rookie coach with 2 guys that don't know how to win, with a whole team that doesn't know how to win. Nobody on that team knows how to win. That's still their biggest problem. They don't know how to compete night in and night out. Not only that, their system fucking sucks. 4 for 42. 4 for 42. When they hit their threes, they compete. When they miss them, they lose to everybody. That's not a way to live.
And I said it too. When they hired Ime, I said, because we're like, oh, there's going to be a change of philosophy. It's still Brad up there. He picked the hand guy that is pretty much a mirror image of him. It's the same philosophy on the basketball court. Nothing's really changed. It's the same fucking thing we've seen from years past with the Brad Stevens, the live and die by 3. The defense has been worse with Ime, I believe, because Brad actually had a defensive sense on that team. I think the defense has gotten worse. The superstars aren't being anything but they are budding still. And yeah, this team is just bad to watch right now.
They're bad. Now, Jason Tatum's been out the last 2 games, but that didn't matter against the Bucks. They blew that lead. Didn't matter against the Sixers. They blew that lead. You know, they compete against these teams. Jason Tatum, I think, has been terrific this season. He's putting himself in that position that it's not really his fault. He still hasn't developed that ability to win games at the end on his shoulders, but he's put his team on his shoulder. He's developed a game that he can distribute. His rebounding has been the best of its career. He's playing great defense. He's an all-NBA player, and there's no disputing that. He is a superstar. He's lacking one part of his game, which is, the ice in his veins closing at the end. He'll get it. I bet he'll get it, and then he'll fucking leave. That's what's shaping up for this guy. He's going to be one of the best players in the league for 4 years, and he's going to be out of here because you fucked this all up. You fucked it all up. It's all fucked up.
What would make you change your whole mind on the whole situation?
Trade everybody except for the Jays and fire Imac. Get Brad out of here. I don't even know if I necessarily blame it on Brad. Because I mean, unless they're consciously playing and working towards this system, making guys shoot threes. But I think a lot of these guys are just retreads. It's a lot of retread like you're talking about. And it's still guys just going out there firing it away when they're open. And that's just not it. You just can't fucking win that way. So trade Marcus, trade Al, trade everybody. And
all right, realistically, what would make you happy? Like, if they're the 8th seed, 7th seed, what would realistically make you happy that they do mid-season this year? Yeah.
Make it a second round. If they make it to the second round and don't get their doors blown off in pathetic fashion, they lose in 5 in decent fashion, then I'll say, okay, you figured it out a little bit. You figured it out a little bit.
Let's be on the same page, because if they're where they're going, they're going to be in a playing game. So you're saying they win the playing game and then lose in the first round of the playoffs, or
no,
they win the playing game, win the first round, and then go to the second round?
You get the second round of the playoffs. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
You got to get to the second round of the playoffs.
For me, I think it's got to be a big trade. You gotta bring someone big in, not a fucking role piece. You need to bring in a big third piece to this team. That would change everyone's mind, the whole dynamic of the team. I think the team would get fucking built up from it, more hype and all that stuff. I think that's what they need. They need to make that big trade.
Well, a big trade will I think, extend the runway and let them, give them more runway to continue to figure it out, quote unquote, figure it out. Yeah. But if they let's say they pull the impossible and make a big trade for Karl Anthony Towns at the deadline. If they get Karl Anthony Towns and miss the playoffs, I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Or lose in pathetic fashion in the first round. Crush him.
What if they get Karl Anthony Towns and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose again?
Fine, that's great. That's a fucking terrific win. If they get Karl Anthony Towns and take the Nets to Game 7 and lose on a KD buzzer beater, I'll go in the first round. I mean, first round of the playoffs. It's got to be what it looks like and who it's against. Like, that's a lot of what the NBA is.
Yeah,
and that's what this team is. It's like you compete with the Bucks and the Sixers and the Clippers and the Lakers and the Nets. You compete with all these guys. And you blow it.
Close it. Yeah, you can't close it.
And then for 2 games straight, you look like shit because you're mentally fucking midget. You're mental midgets. They're mentally soft team.
Hey, we're talking about editing shows, man. Hey, can't say that.
I think that plays. I heard it on the actual radio the other day.
Oh, well then fuck it. Yeah. Mental midgets.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. I shut the fucking game off. I'm done watching the games just to watch them, to know what I'm talking about on the show. Can't do it. Cannot do it.
Frustrating.
Terribly frustrating.
I stopped watching yesterday. Whenever this gets released, it was Wednesday's game. I stopped watching it. I'm like, they're gonna just keep jacking these threes and miss. I'm out.
Oh, I did. I turned it off at halftime. Fuck this.
Yeah.
There was when I turned it off. Right, there were 2 plays in a row. They were on defense. And the Timberwolves dished it in, circled the ball, kicked it out, and the Celtics were tucked in the paint on defense. Nobody ran out to the shooter twice, 2 times in a row. The same guy, white guy, lefty, buried it. Nobody ran out to defend the shot. Shut the fucking game off. I know how this is gonna go. I know exactly how this is gonna go. You can't even do that fucking shit high school. You get benched. Yeah. You can't leave a white guy open at 3, not even run at him. What are you, high? Yeah, so goddamn frustrating. But the Bruins are back, so they'll come out. And...
Fingers crossed they play today.
Tuca.
I didn't even text Bill. I didn't want to. I know it's a very sensitive subject.
What if Tuca came back and just led them on a ridiculous
fucking run? Oh my god. I'd be finding a tattoo artist very close to home.
Yeah, and then he'd shit his pants and then
fuck you guys. It's a fucking asterisk. It doesn't count.
Yep. This has been the Submine Sports Show. Friday headlines, December 31st. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Don't type that because it just gives you like weird shit. It gives you like all these Twitter handles.
This shit's so stupid.
Fuck you. When you texted me that, hey, you still watch wrestling? I'm like, oh, Rich found something, saw something. I'm like, yeah, I do. He goes, yeah, fucking loser. That hurt. That hurt.
There was no alternative motives for that either. It just popped in my head, set up, punchline, and he walked fucking right in.
Right into it. Yeah. Yeah, man, I do. Why? What's up? Fuck.
Yeah.
Thank you, Irene.
Oh, thank you, Irene. Raymond, how are you?
Oh, very good now. You?
All right.
Good. Good.
Did you ask me how I was doing?
Yes.
I just assumed, and I said quite all right. I didn't know. I didn't actually hear you. I wasn't listening to.
Well, of course, I'm not rude. I'm not a queen or anything of a majesty or anything like that. Of course, I'd ask you how you're doing.
Oh, I appreciate it. The queen is
Ghosting us right now.
no call, no show. What was the last no call, no show?
He had to cover the Billy on the pitch.
Yeah. Okay. Tune in next Tuesday for Billy on the pitch.
Ooh, is there any women's hockey going on right now?
Yeah, that's what we did last time. He no called, no showed. We made him do the show, and then basically muted him. We gave him less than 30 seconds every take. Muted him for the whole show, and at the end, he had to give us 5 full minutes on soccer. And he actually did okay.
Billy on the pitch. That was the debut of Billy on the pitch.
Yeah. Well, we're about to get Billy in the National Women's Hockey League, and I'm sure that nothing insulting or misogynistic will come out of that conversation.
He'll be very fair and he's very knowledgeable about the situation at hand.
Totally. I assume Christmas was okay for you and the family?
It was what it was.
Other than driving to Foxborough, dealing with all that, and watching them lose a terrible, terrible game?
Yes, other than that, yes, it was very good. Thank you for asking. How about yourself? How was Christmas for you?
Yeah, it's great. It was great. That's enough of that. Anything else? Anything else new to report after our 1-day hiatus? Bill is now going on 2 weeks. We might not get Bill back.
We will. We'll get him back. He has no life. He says he does, but he has no life. But
That's
yeah,
true.
Nothing's changed. No, got some gifts about it. Yourself? Anything fun?
Nope. What do you say we start the show?
Oh, wait. Where's your camo shirt?
Can't say.
Okay. Yeah, let's start the show.
I did get a camo shirt. It
was fabulous. I could barely see you, but it was fabulous.
I got some other shirts too. Here's a little bit of something that's annoying. Grinding my gears, if you would.
Ooh,
I got 3 new shirts. I asked specifically for some new flannel shirts, and I asked specifically for them to be XL, because on a flannel shirt, don't look at me like that. I'm down 5, buddy. I'm down 5, even through the holidays.
I'm down 10, buddy.
Doesn't look it. With the flannel shirt, you're gonna wear something underneath. I like it. Be comfortable.
Of course.
Okay. So what happened was I got a couple from my mama. She got me XL and tall, which I appreciate because I am tall.
You're a giant. You're a giant.
Cool.
Average height. Average. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
Know what happened to it? There were fucking blankets, Raymond. There were blankets. The sleeves fit me perfect. Sleeves never fit me. And the length was nice. It wasn't too short where, it really protrudes the belly when you get a shirt that's too short. No, the length and everything was, and then around the midsection here, it was like double time, twice fold over.
You have time to grow. That's all.
Just like it doesn't happen. And that was an XL from some fucking New Hampshire brand. And then I got another shirt from American Eagle, double XL. Fits okay.
Now that, my friend, if you want to talk about American Eagle, fuck them. They've been making people having weight issues their whole lives, because even when I was a slender build, I would have to wear an XL because like I would wear a medium or a large and it would be like fucking belly shirt galore. Like, what the fuck kind of sizing is this shit? American Eagle is terrible at that.
Yeah, these brands need to get on the same page. This is just ridiculous. It's beyond the fault. I also got a very nice Patagonia, or as Jarrell would call it, a Patagonia pullover. That was in XL and fits nice and snug and good. But I'm a large. I'm a large in most things.
You've been saying that you're a large in most things, but all this is extra large and fitting very nice.
Let's start the show.